Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Have any of you all been in a fight, physical or combat or otherwise? Have you been in a fight? Have any of you been in a fist fight or in combat? That's not rhetorical. I'm asking you.
I can't speak for my colleagues, but I've certainly been in a fight. Why do you ask?
Have you been in a fight?
In a fist fight?
Or combat?
Sure. Not in combat.
But a fist fight?
Not that I recall.
Okay. So it's hypothetical for you, doctor. If somebody's fighting you and you hit them back, is that escalation or defense? I'll take your silence as exactly. We weren't escalating. We were defending ourselves against a terrorist who's gone out there and hit us time and time and time again. Let me ask you something maybe y'all can't answer. When was the last time that Seliimani hit us before he ended up in about 5 separate pieces on the side of a tarmac?
I don't know, Mr. Congressman, that anyone is debating how awful he was or how many servicemen and women whose deaths or maimings he's responsible.
People are, but that's not my question. When was the last time he hit us?
He's consistently hitting us.
No, when was the last time he hit us? When was the very last time that Seliimani hit us?
Consistently up until his death.
Okay, so right up until his death, he was hitting us. You agree with that? His last actions right before his death was hitting the United States of America.
I think there's no debate that up until the end of his life, Qasem Soleimani was working against U.S. national security interests.
But what about his last actions? Literally, I mean, you guys are Director of Strategic Studies, political scientists, foreign and defense policy studies. You guys study this. What was his last act of terrorism before we ended his life on the side of a tarmac?
None of us have security clearances. I think what we are all aware of is that he was coordinating the attacks on the American embassy.
It's open source information. You don't need a security clearance to know that.
What I'm aware of is that he was coordinating attacks on the American embassy with the leadership of the Popular Mobilization Forces, the Hashd-e-Shaabi. That's what I know. I don't know whether my colleagues have better knowledge.
So right up until his last moment, he was hitting us. He was attacking us. And you all are coming in here saying there's some kind of escalation that's going on. You don't think if somebody was hitting us right up until the last second, that's defense? This academic approach to defense, I find absolutely worthless. Let's go to some other questions here. What was the imminent threat that was posed by Osama bin Laden when we executed him? What was the imminent threat that was posed by him while he was hiding out in his compound in Pakistan? Was there an imminent threat? Was there any intel about he was planning something immediately? More crickets. Was he executed within borders that the U.S. had an authorized use of military force to go into?
If I may, I don't recall that the Obama administration argued that Osama bin Laden was being killed due to an imminent threat. So it's really just a question of justification. And I think where we're a little confused is the Trump administration has given us about 17 different reasons why Qasem Soleimani has been killed. Any and all of them may be accurate. I'm just not sure which.
Who posed a greater threat at the time of their death, bin Laden or Soleimani? More crickets. I think it's because you all don't want to answer these questions. So I'm
No, it's not.
I'm going
It's
to
not
end with
because
this
we don't wanna
statement
answer
right here,
these
right
questions.
now.
It's-
I think I find this whole conversation is just an exercise in you folks being trapped in a Cold War policy purgatory where you're not recognizing that we've moved out of this ladder of escalation, as you all are talking about. Oh, you need to have this designated, exactly, they know what we're going to do. If we see them do this, that's not the way that it works. It's okay to have selective ambiguity. It's okay that they be surprised by the actions, and it's good for foreign policy for them to not know exactly the way the president's going to hit them. That's strength. And in that, I appreciate the fact that you all took the time to come here, although I found its worth to be minimal.